Well, it's a good evening from the studios here in Brisbane, Australia, and today, as you know, with our show with UK. But unfortunately, or fortunately, call it what you will, our co-host is no longer in the UK. She's in Bosnia. She's going to check out the Bosnian pyramids and go through the tunnels. And the co-host has actually ended up getting someone else from Mallorca over there in Spain. And I've been looking at some of the stuff, and I said, "Oh, we're going to be in for an interesting show tonight." So, without further ado, I hand you over to our co-host, Priti Pauline, and our guest, Bijan.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Thank you from down under in Brisbane. And it is a delight, as always, to connect up with you. And today we have Bijan. Bijan is in Mallorca, and he's written a book called 40 Ways to Feel at Home with Yourself. And it's a very beautiful, simply written book that's quite delightful. So it's a kind of book that I would suggest that one flicks through and stops at a page intuitively. There it is, 40 Ways to Feel at Home. And the one that I've actually flicked through and stopped on is contentment. Home is contentment. But we'll go on to that a little bit later because I happen to flick and come up at number 29. But I want to say welcome, Bijan.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's lovely to be here. Yes, it's a pleasure. Really.
Good. And before the show, you were telling us that you do live in Mallorca, in the island.
Yes, yes.
But you came from Iran.
Yes, originally I'm Iranian. Yes, and yes, it was like when I was 21 in 1976. I decided to go to United Kingdom to study interior design, and I stayed out all the time. And now I'm living here since 1997. So it's a good period of my life has been passing in this very beautiful island.
Yes. Yeah, so 1997, you've got some fairly good roots then in Mallorca.
Yes, yes, because I didn't have, in some ways, before that route, especially from 1979, I lost, in a way, my roots, my original roots.
Okay.
And then, of course, I was finding it not so easy to root myself in the United Kingdom. And then, yeah, the story is very long, Pauline. I don't know where to start from, really. But let's for now say that, yes, I'm here in Mallorca. We have a very beautiful retreat center where people come here to work with me. And yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere, silence and peace and birds and paradise. So lovely place.
Wow.
Wish one day we will meet up physically here together. And of course, Jeff also. It's a bit far away, but it's manageable.
It sounds idyllic. Silence, birds.
Very beautiful. Absolutely.
Coast, trees, heaven. Okay. Beautiful. So what led you then? Oh, look, here's some
Oh yes, that's where we are.
Is this your retreat center?
It is. It is indeed.
Yes. Wow.
It is a very sweet place. Well, you see, I studied interior design. This is what I'm good at.
Doing a bit of cooking.
This is what I'm good at. I'm a good cook.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm the cook in our house.
Wow. So what's your favorite dish, or do you just prepare what everybody asks for?
Well, later we'll come to meet someone who is within me, who not only has a power of, I don't know, seeing and healing, but she is an amazing cook. Every single night, she gives me a recipe, and I cook the most delicious things. So I think my next book... Pardon?
You get instructions.
Exactly. I'm an assistant altogether, really. That's my function here. Whether it is my work with humanity, or my cooking, or anything else, I am playing the role of assistant. So the boss is within.
Okay. So that's a good news. And you use local produce. You go out in the garden and pick herbs. Where do you get
Something.
your ingredients?
Some things, yes, we do. But major shopping really happens through a bio farm. Two actually we have very nearby, and that's where our food comes from. All our veggies and fruits, everything is biological, and this is perhaps one of the greatest gifts any human can have access to.
Wow. Wow.
Unfortunately, we see how it is, how things are, and the food in the industrialized way to produce and so on. So, on a level of good health, I don't think they are really favorable to this precious body.
Okay. All right. So tell me a little bit more about the book and how it came to pass. What was it that inspired you and got you started with putting
But
pen to paper to make a book?
all right, that's a very long question. I try to
Ah,
simplify as much as I can.
okay, let's go.
I try to really shorten, but the story began, I think, in 1985, where one day, in the midst of my misery, suffering,
Okay.
and depression and all kinds of things, in the middle of a street, very quiet, called Prince of Wales Terrace in Scarborough, I felt a shock entering my body, kind of energy that it kind of surprised me. It really, perhaps even I had tearful eyes. It was very bad. 1984 was bad year.
Mm-hmm.
And then in that shock, there was a tremendous peace felt within me. I was physically also had a big trouble, which was in that time a very nervous stomach, extremely nervous, and especially for the last year, 1984, really, it was just maximum. I could not be excited, otherwise I would feel like throwing up. I hope that is
Mm-hmm.
okay to say.
It's
I
fine.
was like,
It's
I
fine.
was like to be Pauline. I was like some pregnant women. It happens to them. First thing they do in the morning, they go to toilet to throw up. And I had that one year. A very nervous. My solar plex was on fire constantly. It was really
Okay.
depressive. But in this shock, I began to feel an amazing cool breath entering my mouth, and I never breathing through the mouth, and such a cool breeze. And it just traveled into my body, going lower and lower, and all the time when it goes down, there is this feeling of relief. Suddenly, there is nothing but peace. Then it went to my chest. When it arrived there, it lifted this heavy pressure that I felt for a long time on my chest. Going down, when it arrived to my solar plex, or where the stomach is sitting, it was suddenly like you put water on fire. It
Uh-huh.
disappeared instantly. And by now, after that, I realized I have a smile on my face. Something I hadn't felt truly a very long time.
Wow.
And then the lower this breath went, which really is going down and down, perhaps even to my first chakra, I suddenly realized, wow, what a posture I am standing.
Well, hold
I
on.
was
Sit
before
up,
like
Mike.
this.
Sit up.
The breath is giving me the most beautiful posture I have had in ages.
Mm-hmm.
And then that piece was very delicious. I just I don't know where I was and what was happening. My internal awareness of myself was immense. And then suddenly my attention went to the outside world. In England, grey, not long before, North Sea, I could see North Sea. That was very grey. Everything was grey, drizzling perhaps, I think. And that was it. I suddenly saw the most colorful ever, let's say, light in England after so many years.
Mm.
Everything was so beautiful. Even the sea, that gray sea suddenly had some green in it, some blue in it. To my right, there is this amazing English park in this very beautiful really town, coast, tourist town and so on. But garden was immensely beautiful. Suddenly I look at the garden and I just see the bottom of my face, this green grass. It was literally into my face. It was like there is a connection to this color that it is not there, it is here. Yeah, it was an amazing
Mm.
experience. And just in the midst of this, I heard a voice, a question, male, a bit harsh, the same time, very soft, very kind, very caring. And the question was, Bijan, what are you doing to yourself?
Ah, okay.
And that suddenly made my smile become an amazing laughter. I laughed. I laughed. It was an instant realization that whatever I have been going through, which was plenty, it was mine. It was
Ah,
my responsibility. I wasn't a victim for that moment for nothing.
yeah.
And then immediately followed by a tremendous feeling of forgiveness.
Okay.
It was incredible. For a moment, those who I blamed, especially God, I forgave everyone. Instantly, now I'm taking time to talk or explain the situation. But all this is extremely instant. It's in the moment. It's so here now that there is nothing else but that. And that was it, my dear Pauline. That was my start. I turned around, and 3 days later, I met a man who wanted to meet me a long time, but never happened because of my state. And I met him in the street, and he noticed me in a way that I noticed he's coming towards me so consciously and so excitingly. And he arrived, looked into my eyes, and he says, "Hey, pal, it is time we meet."
Ah, okay.
Through him, I met my master a month later. I never dared to ask the question about this photo that I keep seeing wherever you go in his apartment. Everywhere, from the toilet to the kitchen, sink, bedroom, everywhere, and tons of books from this man. A
Mhm.
month later, one day I asked him, "He's not your grandfather, is he really?" He's so blonde and English. And he said, "No, it's my master." Then he looked at me. And then he went to
Yeah.
his book place, and he came with a book called Sufis, Peoples from Path of Freedom, Volume 1.
Wow.
And that was
Sufi's
my,
Path of Freedom. Yeah.
it's a
Okay.
very beautiful, delightful book. He had sussed it. He
Yeah.
knew that I'm coming from that land where all the masters of Sufism,
Yeah. Yeah.
from Maulana, Rumi, Jalaluddin, or Hafiz, or Sadi, or we have many of them. Sadly, not all are that famous. Omar
Mhm.
Khayyam, for example, perhaps he's the first one that was introduced to the Western world. Omar Khayyam began to make a movement in the Western world with his amazing insights and wisdom and realizations. So I got the book, and would you believe, Pauline, I'm 32 now, and I'd never ever read a book in my life that was out of study books. I go to bed at 12 o'clock midnight, and I open the book, I read the first page, which is in actual fact, it is a part of the teaching of this master, Sufi master. And when I read that, I began to cry.
Oh.
It was like I have arrived home.
Yes.
That's how it felt, really.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the book is written by somebody else, but it's somebody who has a deep knowledge on Sufism and great masters. And that was it, my dear Pauline. I took sannyas with that master a year after, 1985. And from 85, I had always the deep desire to be with him personally or face to face, near. And I took sannyas from England, and he was living in that time in India. Then in 1989, it was it. I had this urge, I must go now. And I did.
Yeah.
I did. I arrived into the ashram the next day of my arrival. The story is very long, but we're cutting it very short. And on that group of the people who arrived on that day, I met my wife, who we are still together.
Oh.
And at the end of my 9-month stay, a week before leaving, I met a French woman, Devalaila, God bless her soul. And sort of by accident in a restaurant with her family, 2 girls and husband, New Yorker, also a fashion designer, cool guys. And it was her who, the day after, in the evening, she asked me, Bijan, do you know who you are?
Okay.
So I really didn't have a clue what to answer. Just lost.
Okay.
After all these 2.5 years almost, and nearly 4 years or something, delving with the interior things and sussing out mind and these programmings, these conditionings, and yes, the identifications and so on. And I still couldn't say nothing. And then suddenly she had a smile on face, very beautiful smile, gentle. She said, "You are the ancient one." And I was 35. So I thought to myself,
Okay.
what's she talking about? I wasn't at all esoteric. Let me put it this way, by the way. So I didn't know what to say to that one. And then she said, "You are the crystal healer from the Atlantis."
Ooh.
I knew nothing even about Atlantis, where Atlantis was, or what is the story of that lost place. I'm just listening. And then she said, "You are the shaman from many cultures." That touched me because I had a great, amazing memory of having a dream one day in England. The dream was a shaman all alone, dancing around in a huge fire and singing. Beautiful, all alone. And suddenly I wake up from that dream. The shaman who's singing. And I want to go back, but I can't. But at the same time, I can't stop singing what I was singing in the dream. Pauline, for 3.5 hours, I could not stop this singing. I was everywhere. And I didn't know from where the voice or this, very special expression of voice, actually. That's what I call singing. So that touched me a little bit somehow. And then I didn't know what to do, the master, and so on. And 2 weeks later in Pauline, in London, the connection happened.
Yes. Okay.
The most amazing moment of my life, perhaps. And also, you could say a bit frightening, because there was a disappearance, dissolving of who I thought I was, and so on, even physically. Well, the story. Do I have time to tell this part of the story? Because I think it's very important.
Yes, tell it, please. I'm all ears.
Yeah. After the returning from India, I and my wife, we had done a training called Divine Healing.
Mm-hmm.
So in London, me being an Iranian and having this incredible passport, which in that time was not sort of likable much with all this
Ah,
propaganda stuff like that,
yeah.
we were deciding, Jeffrey, to go to Australia to give birth to our daughter. My wife got pregnant 3 months later after we met. So she came, we went to London. From there, I wanted to apply for visa to go to Australia, even though I had an invitation from a barrister.
Mm-hmm.
But it took 4 months, Pauline, to get that visa. My wife in 48 hours, because she holds German passport.
Okay. Okay.
Meantime, we're waiting. We have nothing to do in
Yeah.
this incredible series. We just go to bookshop, involved with healing ideas and so on. And one day in Trafalgar Square, there was a very new shopping mall. So we went there, just to
Okay.
walking all the time. And at
Trafalgar
the
Square's a
last,
nice place to go.
yes, at the last floor, where we are going with this electric escalator up,
Mm-hmm.
suddenly where we land on the floor, to my right, there is a crystal shop.
Uh-huh.
We go in. This is what we've been doing, whether there or Covent Garden. They had many, many esoteric bookshops and selling
Yes.
all kinds of things, tarot cards and incenses. And we go in. It's a small shop. And in the middle of the shop, there is a table with baskets, each having different kind of minerals,
Mm-hmm.
semi-precious or not precious, so-called crystals in these baskets. It is
Mm-hmm.
just on arrival, huh? It just doesn't, I don't go anywhere else. It just happens. And suddenly my whole attention goes to this basket that had very small quartz crystals, really very small, tiny, maybe 1.5, 2 centimeter maximum, on a key ring. It's a key
Mm-hmm.
ring. Well, it's like a small quartz. And in this basket, one of them is shouting, "Take me." Really, literally, it's like a feeling I've never ever in my life had a connection with something that is in a way talking to me and is pressuring me in a way. Take me. I ignored it. And I went to look at the walls and other crystals and the books and so on. But every time I was turning my head anywhere else, again my head was turning back to this crystal. Took about 10, 15 minutes perhaps. Bringing all the reasons why I don't want a key holder, because I am actually leaving England with this idea, maybe I don't return. I closed everything that I lived 13 and a half years in England. Everything. And now there's a hearing. Say, take me. And we're going to Australia. We don't have nothing. But anyhow, I gave in, Pauline, because
Oh, okay.
it was just
Okay.
too much. And I thought 50 pence.
Yes.
All right, take it.
Ah,
It's the only thing I buy. We go out. My
all
wife is
right. Yeah.
3 steps ahead of me. And suddenly, from nowhere, came a question to my head, which I'd never ever had such a thought ever in my life. The question was, holding this in my hand, the keyring, small chain, are you a pendle? I did not know what a pendle is. what you do with it, or what potential it has, this instrument.
Ah, okay.
But the moment I asked this question, there was an explosion in my belly that I suddenly felt I am everywhere in this universe. Huge explosion. Energy was tremendous. And suddenly fear comes in. And after fear, the thought, no, this is not the time to die. She's pregnant, 7 months. I cannot leave them now. I am fighting this. I thought maybe it's a heart attack experience. I thought maybe it's a brain stroke. I have no idea what it could be, but all I know is death. Now the fear and the thought are so strong and I'm fighting, suddenly the energy imploded. I came back, I don't know where I was. And moved back into my belly. So now I realize, and by now my wife is looking at it. She knows there is something not right. And then immediately after, next question, am I a crystal healer from Atlantis? First question. Second question. I ask this question, again this explosion happens, but this time there is trust that I'm not dying, okay? But I went with it. Then it imploded, became a hotline, traveled into my body from the belly up to I'm left-handed, into my left hand, into this little crystal with a little chain. And it is not this crystal, by the way.
Okay.
And this little crystal began to turn around with such a speed that I thought anytime that can jump to my eye. Anyhow, to cut the story very short, with my wife's help, which I have always enjoyed her mind. She's the mind, the brain of the house, I say, and I'm kind of the soul of the heart. But without her, I don't know where I would be, like today, for example. Now, even. So anyhow, the communication began immediately. We were guided to go to a telephone box, look into the yellow pages, look for the section of minerals, found the place. Next day, now what do I do with this address? Be there at 9:30 in the morning. For the next 5 days, Pauline, for the next 5 days, from 9:30 till 5:30, we went to this incredible storehouse for crystal.
Okay.
It was immense cellar where in the dockyard of London, where all the whatever green containers and so on. It was a massive room, cellar, literally cellar, huge room, and all over, all around the walls. You know these drawers architects have where they put plans in?
And you
In
pull
good
them
old
out.
days, these days it's very different.
Yeah.
It was full of them. Crystals from Madagascar, crystals from Afghanistan, Iran, everywhere in the world. For 5 days, she chose crystals to heal the 7 chakras, plus 2 chakras that were out of the body. Next, we go and buy a book that she suggests me. It says, Chakra Healing with Crystals. And that's how I began my assistant work. She did amazing work, incredible work. And then she began to introduce me to the medicinal systems, whether it is Chinese, Ayurveda, etheric oils, which is the only one I use these days. The rest I haven't touched for many years. Vitamins, minerals, many things that have to do with taking care of the body. She really began her work with taking care of the body. For us, we don't, I call this my body tribe. I don't call
Okay.
this my body. This is my tribe. Huge number. Trilliards. In my perhaps size, 60, 70 trilliards of them. So anyhow, she began like that. And then sometime later, we went to homeopathic system, everything. And by now I had a very beautiful little luggage box. And I
Yes.
called it my magic bag. I had my sources all in there, all the books I needed. And suddenly she asked me to acquire few sets of tarot cards.
Oh, okay.
For the next 15 years, we did nothing else but using tarot
Really?
to expose the ego. And of course, it wasn't like a normal tarot reader or reading where you spread the tarot in front of you, you pick. No, I turned around, I shuffled where she wanted me to shuffle. One by one, she would choose the reading. It was incredible. That is where I got to know about the psychology of human mind. Female, male.
Yeah.
And then, after these 15 years, that they were all packed in my magic box, one day she told me, tonight you bury your magic box.
Oh, okay.
That was very shocking. It was like somebody takes all the carpet off the foot and you're in the air. What do I do now? After all these many years, this box has followed me to Himalaya, so many places and so on. I did. And after that, we just sat without anything. And she went through the whole structure and conditionings or construct of the ego self.
Yes.
Seeing all the, and by the way, she does go into the subconscious mind. Nothing can, no education knows how to do that. You can be psychologist or whatever degree, but to do that, it is not a psychologist's work. To dig deep into the beginning of your belief systems, your fears, your doubts, your self-sabotage mechanisms. So all the, many people call shadow side, and I call teachers.
The teachers.
I don't believe them, they are shadows. They are teachers. We honor them as such. I honor the ego. We honor the ego as the teacher. As long as we don't see it that way, you can never, ever free yourself from it. Once you've learned the lessons of the ego, the fears, all lessons, belief systems, all lessons, everything is a lesson, something that there is resistance in allowing to be understood. That was it. We sat there, we exposed, and then of course, she sees that beautiful soul, who you truly are. We do 8 sessions, each about 2 to 2.5 hours, and the transformation begins after. It's been a great pleasure to see how many people in what kind of difficulties they were when they came to me and who they are now, and especially after the work. So there's a great understanding from this. But coming back to the book, last year, 2025, in the middle of the March, she told me, now we need to do more collective healing. Up to now, we have worked with individuals, couples, especially. That's our most specialized work. That's my most important work on this planet. I must say that. For once she told me, as long as there is no peace between man and woman, there will never ever be peace on the planet.
Okay, there's a beautiful sentiment. Yeah.
So And then group works. She has very beautiful group work, tremendously beautiful group work that there are no other therapists or psychologists, they look at those subjects. I can't blame them, but still. But suddenly she comes with this idea, we need to do more collective healing, and we're going to do books. And they are the series of books to heal. And she followed by the first one that we are going to do is to heal perhaps the most common pain in human history. And that is the pain of not feeling at home with yourself. With oneself. 1st of April, 2025, I sat with her from 10 in the morning. I had an assistant to put things on the computer, sitting just there patiently, waiting for me to deliver, write it first, and then tell him to put it in. Altogether, we had a 1 month gap. In 1.5 months, the book was done.
Wow.
And then the design came through, beautiful frames and the layouts and everything. And the book is there now, and I'm very, very, very happy that, especially now that you have given me, or rather this book, to be spread amongst my human family, your human family. And this is incredible. And especially you are in Bosnia, intending to go to the pyramids. Yeah, there are so many things that we don't see really, we don't notice, but there are a lot of things cooking, I think, always. Next question.
I want to, because before we started, I flicked through the book.
Yes.
And I wanted to dive a little bit more into the book, because the one that I flicked open on is number 29. When you feel at home with yourself. Home is contentment.
Yes. You would like to read? Would you like to read, or would you like me to read?
I'll read the first bit, and then you can go through the guiding lights. So each of them, there's a 1 to 40, and there's a number. I've stopped at 29 on content, but next door is friendship, being aware, peacefulness, being modest. Very nice.
Very nice.
Celebrating life. Appreciating the state of the union. So they all have numbers and names, being focused. And then there's a little précis about contentment. And then on the opposite page, there's some guiding lights, which is fabulous. It's a simple, but let's go through it. Let's go through contentment, number 29. Living one's courage. Allowing the flow of creativity. Love for totality. Being generous with oneself. Welcoming whatever existence brings. Enjoying the pleasures of life and honoring the spiritual practices of peace.
Principles.
Truth, gratefulness, and charity. And most of all, living what one preaches, all leading to feeling content with oneself.
Exactly.
And when I read that, I feel a depth coming inside of me and a quietness, because it all rings quite true.
It's very true, yes. Yes, well, you see, the intention was to keep the book very simple, going to the point, not distracting. There is no need to explain simple things. So she has been like talking like koans, Very simple. But as you said, it truly touches the being, basically, because it's all about truth. When people say it makes sense, in reality, it's
And then you have some.
what it means, it is true. You touch my truth, not my sense. So, and then when you go to the guiding lights of this, and they are also very simple, very simple to follow, extremely simple. And for all the ways, she gave only 4 guiding lights. If you don't mind, I go on reading those.
Yeah.
For example, on the
Yes, please. Yes, please.
For embodying that contentment, you need to earn it, like everything else in life. You shouldn't expect just things just come. I need to earn love, not just receive love. I need to be that being who is lovable. How can I be loved without that? So the guiding lights are extremely important to follow. It is about, that is your medicine for to feel content with yourself. So it's not just guiding lights or principles of this or that. No, it is simply all of them are medicines. The first one with this one says, put into action the universal principle of appreciation.
Wow. Yeah.
If I don't embody that attitude, I am ignorant.
Yes.
I do not see. I am not aware. I am not conscious whatsoever. Only when I become an appreciative being, there I am in touch with everything that I am surrounded with, that I have in my life. Now, with each guiding light, there is a very short explanation. It is said that the secret of life is in appreciation, especially according to 2 systems. One is Feng Shui. It's all about the principles of appreciation. What are the most important things in life to appreciate so they can come to you? It always reminds me, actually, of this beautiful saying, you do not throw pearls in front of the swine.
Ah, yes.
That teaching, if people delve in and see the depth of that teaching, I think people can wake up.
Yeah.
So appreciation is a great key, to be honest. And then she says, whatever you appreciate either gets more or it comes to you.
Wow.
And it's also the second school that teaches appreciation is Aloha. This is, we can say, the principles of spirituality or religion of Hawaii.
Okay.
Very small booklet, 7, 8 pages
Yes.
they have, and just it tells you appreciate when you see love, appreciate, just like Feng Shui, appreciate when you see richness, when you see power, when you see health, and so on. So this is a very, very big key for contentment. Only then we're really in contentment. Because when you're appreciating something, love is in fact flowing.
Yes. Even in the word contentment, in your mind, see the content of what is before you.
It's exactly right.
Keep going. I'm loving it.
So thank you. The second guiding light is be attentive to your physical needs.
Okay.
This is the temple. This is my body tribe. This is the vehicle of my soul, my precious Anand, and in your case, that divine being within you. So it is very essential to be aware of the needs of the body, true needs of the body, and to treat her or him accordingly. Explanation. Your body is your home. many years ago, I asked her, what do they mean by here and now? Because it's really not that clear.
Mm-hmm.
It can be, okay, you're out of the past, you're not in the future, and so on. But what is the connection? And she said, well, here is the body. I would like to do you, or whoever is listening here, is with us, to have this practice, to see how much you can really stay in your body. Simply don't go anywhere, stay with your body. When you look at something, don't go there. Stay in your body, from there you look. It's a very, very lovely, lovely exercise to come back home, actually. To not to be much in the mind, but in the body. And then she said, and the now is breath. When you are in your body and you are with the breath, this is here and now. So, your body is your home, therefore, be caring towards its needs. Peace in the body brings peace into the mind.
Completely.
My body is not only a physical body. I have held all the emotions I have lived in my life in my body.
Yeah.
It's essential to know what emotions this beautiful tribe lives under. Doing that incredible work, are they doing an environment that there is happiness or misery? Just imagine that for one moment, please. When I'm getting involved with unpeaceful emotions, all my cells are under that environment. It's one of the most important needs of the body to awaken emotional intelligence and live the peaceful emotions and the unpeaceful emotions. Find out what is the lesson behind it that you are going through. Don't get too identified with just the emotion. See the emotion as a teacher, as something that is trying to wake you up. Something is not right. Third one. Ask your wisdom, the faculty of the mind that appreciates truth. She calls wisdom, she gives the meaning to wisdom, love for truth. Wisdom is nothing to do with information, knowledge, experience, age. Nothing to do with it. It's all about the truth. What is right. Explanation. By the way, sorry. Ask your wisdom, in parentheses, the faculty of the mind that appreciates truth, close the parentheses, when you are wondering what to choose.
Oh, okay. Ask your wisdom. Okay.
Does this serve me and my world? We need to consider the world in our choices, not only the eyes.
Yep.
Whenever you want to choose or decide something, make sure it serves the well-being of both yourself and the world.
Yeah.
The last,
okay.
Number 4. Let go
Yes.
of feeling ashamed for not being able to love yourself. It's one of the deepest pains we carry. one of the deepest emotions, shame. So that was contentment. Jeffrey, can I involve you here? Is Jeffrey with us here? I'm not so sure.
Well, funny enough, there's a good gentleman just asked me what's Jeff's thoughts.
Oh yes, please. If there's any question, please let me know.
What's the question? It's just about living in the moment. So last week we had our Australia in North America show, and the guy who came on, Christopher.
I hear your voice not so good, but I try my best.
No, I'll turn it up. Yeah, so last week we had a gentleman who came from the Pentagon in America. So he was a Navy, Air Force, and Army guy. And he was taken out of the Army or military, and he went down to Peru, and he did ayahuasca. But he did the floating in the Epsom salts, and he had a major epiphany. And so he came back to the States, and he did another couple of floats. And lo and behold, he got taken through to Atlantis. Yeah. So he opened up this whole consciousness. It was like he said, my third eye opened up. I didn't even know what a third eye was. And it was traveling through as if he was going through Stargate and hyperspace. And then, boom, he arrived at this destination. So he was talking about Atlantis. So I said, well, funny enough, I actually asked about Atlantis. Where was it? And I said, I went astral traveling, and I went into Bimini, and I went into the shallow waters, and I came to a coral beach there underwater, and I pulled out this humongous big book. It was a book of knowledge, you know, and I just quickly read it. So then, okay, we put that to one side. That was on Wednesday morning. Friday, a bloke rings me up from Darwin, Northern Territory, and he's from the Sufi Northern Territory Association, and they've got a 20-foot container coming into Australia. And they said, can we look after it for them? So I thought, well, that's really interesting. And then on the Sunday, my mate rings me up and says, have you ever been down to the Australian School of Meditation? They do a Kuritan. I said, is that right? So I chuffed off on Sunday and went to the Kuritan matches, chants and all that stuff. There's about 120 people there. And they had Hari Bol, and they had Hare Krishna. They got big pictures of Buddy Krishna and his blue and the flute and all that stuff. And lo and behold, at the end of an hour and 50 minutes, they came out with Buddy bowls of food for everybody. It was all done on a donation, you know. So then along you come along, Bijan, and you're talking about the Sufism, and we're talking about Iran and the original concept there of, you know, coming out of Iran, which we've had a guy a couple of years ago who came out of Palestine, and he does the Sufi esoterical studies, and he does the dance. What do you call it? The
Whirling.
Dwelling, yeah. So and he opened up his whole consciousness to the fact of taking on the esoterical knowledge and love your neighbours, you know, and so from that principle, if you can get into that space, I don't know what you want to call it, but I'm just saying you're in that space, and all of a sudden everything starts manifesting. You just, I mean, the animals come around you. I mean, I've got a magpie that comes and knocks on my door, and I go out there, and it now jumps on my knee, and I just bloody hand feed it with bloody music. So, but then as you walk through nature, you see all the different bloody water dragons, and you see, I'll even other birds will stop, and I just say good morning, how you going? So the point I want to say in the conversation is that once you find that internal place of peace, it's amazing how consciousness develops around you. That's not only human, but it's nature itself. Yeah.
Of course, it is all nature.
Mind you, I've got
the power of this inner nature, and the nature is tremendous, really tremendous. But anyhow, so now that you're there, I would like you to think of a number between 1 and 40. What would that be?
Okay.
Jeffrey?
36.
36. You don't mind, of course, I hope. 36.
Ooh, this is cool.
Very-
I got it.
Home is being focused. Transforming the
Yes.
pattern of having difficulty with choosing allows the mind to focus more easily. Another key is having trust in oneself, which develops when one embodies the attitude of being caring with oneself. Empower the intelligence of passion in you, which brings the manifestation of commitment. Another word for it is another word for being present. When you are committed, you are present. The flow of happiness in life also energizes peace in the mind, which is necessary for developing the level of concentration that supports focus. Guiding lights. Be brave, allowing the satisfaction of materializing your valuable potential. No explanation. It's very clear. Some of them they don't have any. Second, have faith that you are worthy of realizing your peaceful self. There's a explanation. Trust in your ability to create relaxation in your life. All you need is to be open to fun and celebration.
Oh, wicked.
Third, wake up the flow of well-being in your emotions. Explanation. Laughter has its own magical ways to bring gentleness to one's heart. Fourth, use your wonderful inspirational self. Explanation. Soulfulness is the source of all inspirations. What leads one to being soulful are gratefulness, playfulness, and wisdom.
So,
Would like to have her number read out.
Pardon?
I think Pauline would like to have her number read.
Oh, her number. Oh, Pauline, let's do that then. Let's do
okay, I go for number 13. Why not?
13.
It's my number.
Oh,
13.
13.
This is cool. Let's see.
Home is truthfulness.
Ooh. Okay.
The power of self-respect is gained through sincerity. Calmness of mind grows when one has the courage to tell the truth. Working on empowering self-trust requires one to become a warrior of always doing what is right, honorable, and just. Perhaps the greatest cause of suffering that is carried from the past has been the wrong conditioning of hiding the truth. Then the guiding light. Allow yourself to let go of the fear of not being welcomed.
Okay.
Explanation. Remember, freedom is never sacrificing the truth. Second, change deep self-denial habits. Be giving with yourself. If you wish to know what true self-love is, sincerity with yourself shows itself in being allowing with yourself. Third, welcome having compassion for yourself. Let yourself know the joy of self-appreciation. Appreciation is one of the laws of attraction. The last, trust that you are worthy of relaxation. Take care that you know your needs and fulfill them.
So now I have a new job.
Yes, you do. Well, it's not a new job. Actually, you have a new play.
Yeah,
you have a new game.
A new play, a new game, and to play with it.
Yes,
Join
everything
Jeff
should be
with
considered.
playfulness.
Everything should be considered a play. This is a play. 3 of us, one in Australia, the other in Bosnia, and I'm here in Mallorca. This is a play. We are playing right now. We are not working, are we? We are not the slaves. You see, Pauline, many, many years ago, this is really a long time ago, one day she told me that our task now is to invite people to walk the path of playfulness, pleasure, peace. 3 P's.
3 P's.
It is the first path. Playfulness, pleasure, peace.
Pleasure, peace. Okay.
Now,
yeah.
But the explanation is very important. Why? What is playfulness? She says, playfulness arises from a deep desire to unite. And then she says, but that desire can only exist in a non-judgmental mind. And it is only then the heart is open and play happens by itself. For us, playfulness, seen from this perspective, is the highest spiritual, one of the highest, let's say, or perhaps the highest spiritual principle. To keep this desire, this passion for union alive. How can I have that passion? Have no passion as such. I am an island, an individual, no communication with my human family, in truth, none whatsoever. So the judgmental mind separates us, of course. When you judge yourself, you separate yourself from others. When you judge others, you separate yourself from others. It's just separation. And what is obviously caused is always anger at the end. But yet in the non-judgmental mind, compassion is always active. Heart is always open. Just like children, Pauline. Just like they are playful, and if you allow them, they play 28 hours a day.
Yes. And more.
And all of a sudden, in truth, their heart is so open. And they have no judgmental mind activated yet. The corruption begins a bit later. So, and also, it is the first law of life. Life is a play, is play. Life happens with the play of sex, Pauline.
Okay.
In all kingdoms.
Yes, in all kingdoms.
And then pleasure. She explains pleasure is the food for the soul. Used correctly, it can cause the greater mind. Imagine, I'm sure you and everybody who is listening now, only those who have worked with me, okay, but this information most probably is quite new to all of you. She sees the five senses, where basically are sources of pleasure, as tools to be used to evoke the greater mind. For example, she considers the pleasure of hearing. Hearing, the sense of hearing, is connected to the creative mind. The pleasures of smelling, that sense, is connected to the valuing mind. Look what happens when you put your nose into this beautiful rose flower. Your value mind is activated so deep and so profound. And without that mind, one is always very ignorant. If you don't know how to value things, taking everything for granted, you're bound to suffer sooner or later. Seeing, she relates the pleasure of seeing to wisdom. Taste, pleasure of taste, to the intuitive mind, that great mind. And the touch, the pleasure of touch, is related to the knowing mind. Now you imagine your knowing mind, valuing mind, creative mind, intuitive mind, and wisdom are activated. And they become you.
Wow. It's a cacophony.
Why do you think pleasure is forbidden by those guys?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's promised in the heaven. All is okay. In heaven, we are allowed. To the extremes, to the extremes even, from a glass of wine to a river of wine. But here, so it is the nourishment for the soul, not for the ego. Pleasure should be seen as that is food for the soul and the empowerer of the greater mind.
Excellent.
And also, it is the second law of life. Life is pleasure. Look at that play of sex. In it, there is pleasure. Or, and when there is these two laws active in one's life, there is peace. Okay. But that is the first path to prepare to the second and the last, the third path, where this is supposed to be the wedding day, as they call it in Sufism. So playfulness is a very important thing, but also learning the art of taking things in life playfully. That is especially the art. Part of being a playful person is also somebody who takes whatever happens in life playfully. Like this, you are in power. The moment you take something serious, you make yourself smaller, your power smaller to deal with that. But in the playful, you are in your original power, your natural power, and you manage to suss everything out, sort everything out.
So, Bijan, are you actually doing all your classes and workshops on the island of Mallorca, or do you go to other countries?
I have traveled many years, Jeffrey, but after COVID, I stopped. Sadly, I will start soon. I think I will go to Holland soon to do group works for women. So, and for my brothers also, but that's not sure. But for the first one, for sure. But I used to, yes. I used to go many years doing my work in winter times, where in 97 when we came here, we didn't have a house and we lived in a caravan for 18 years. So yes, pardon?
Yeah. Did you say India?
No, here in Mallorca. Here in
Right.
Mallorca, when we arrived in 97, before that, I traveled a lot to Italy, India, Germany. This was the triangle place where I did my work. But later on, when we came and settled in Mallorca, I began to, travel again to Italy, to Holland, to Germany. They were my most played and gone places to share my gift. So, yes, but I do hear they come here.
Pardon me?
I do online. I for me, I don't care. I do online. People can. Long time ago, Jeffrey, there was no these smartphones and these facilities, and what we had the email address. I remember one letter from Australia. Somebody asking me a question, and she gave the answer. The answer here. How would you know that? I didn't give you any date of birth, for example, like some people. You don't see me, so you could perhaps know have the facility who knows about facial stories to suss out where people are and so on. But how would you know that? It's the vast consciousness. It's everywhere. 95% of the furniture in our house is from her. She told me where to go and buy them for a very good price also.
That's your second wife then, eh?
Yes. She's everywhere. She's everywhere. People, sometimes she has given me a message to pass to somebody on the phone. And I called and I give the message and she gets so excited and screaming that, oh my God, I asked last night and she answers me today in the morning. So I don't know what this amazing intelligence. I really, still there is much more that I don't know. After all these many years, we've done a lot of things. She has surprised me in many, many, many ways. But there is that presence there, which is
Plato, you have to go through the pillars to go to Atlantis. So have you ever sort of inquired as to coming from Atlantis, where Atlantis was? I mean,
no, I've never done that. Never. I have been so involved only working with people, and I'm sure I can do that. So thanks for the inspiration. Maybe I should do that.
Well, you said you're about an island to yourself, and I thought, well, you've actually manifested an island physically.
You're living on an island, yeah.
Yeah, but truly, I am sure that those were the days, but they're not here now. What is very important is now and where we are and how we can help with the stories that happens around our planet, which is simply basically created from within. From each one of us is responsible for what is happening outside. Everybody.
I'm having a laugh because you talked about the little crystal with the key ring on it, and I'm thinking, well, that's a way of consciously bring it into your mind that here's the key to open, obviously, the keys.
Yes. But this first path, the path of playfulness, pleasure, peace, it is essential. You cannot start a spiritual path without being in peace.
I understand.
Okay.
It is distraction. People get lost. I know many people who we've done everything, Jeffrey, possible. A guy came to me, he says, it's 18 years, there is nothing I haven't done. All the sessions of any kind, all the therapy groups of any kind, but why do I still fall back into the same holes? And the answer simply came, it's all because you don't truly appreciate peace.
Yeah.
If I appreciate peace, that means I love peace. That means whatever I love, I provide and I protect. Just like whatever you love or whoever you love. I don't allow anything stupid to come and harm my peace. My peace is more important than anything else. When I appreciate peace to that depth, Jeffrey, I think that is called, or ends up, or opens the doors, gates to consciousness. She said long time ago, there are two most important relationships to create before entering any other relationships. First one was peace, and second, joy. Only then, when you have that being in you, peace and joy, every relationship you enter into is going to be fun and inspiring.
Yeah.
Well, you did the major pieces, the relationship between male and females, isn't it?
It is truly, but
Yes.
also, it is to do with the relationship between my inner male and female. It's not only the outside; it is within us all. There is half of me is a woman, half of me is a man. This is a union of these two. So my feminine qualities, my masculine qualities, abilities, potentials, they're all within me. I need to make peace with me. I need to feel at home with me. That's called peace.
Yes.
And love, and joy, and celebration, and gratefulness, and appreciation. I think that is where life really begins. When one starts to really, how lovely to be here with me, with me, with me.
That female presence that you've got, is that another way of saying that's your higher aspect of yourself, your duality of drawing the feminine into your maleness? Is that what you?
Yes, of course. There is a maleness, and there is like the emotional and practical, intuitive and practical. These are male, female. There's a right hemisphere, left hemisphere of the brain. Each has its
Okay.
own potentials and its own ways to function.
Very good.
You said that your Anand name is something that was given you. So,
Yes.
Bijan, when you mix A and B together, you have Anand. Tell us a bit about the name that you've been given.
Yeah. The name is obviously given by the master. Perhaps that is his greatest gift or her greatest gift, to give the name which is the nature of the master, the disciple. Anand is in reality is my soul. That's the name of her, the presence. And Bijan is my given name by birth, by the way, and it means treasure. It was kept. So I am the treasure of bliss, or I have bliss as my treasure. It is somehow almost the same.
Very good.
But as I said, to come home, to recognize that preciousness that we all have, it really requires to, with commitment, with totality, embody these two relationships, peace and joy. Once we do that, then we are ready to start the next two paths. The second one is, this is 3 Gs. It's the path of generosity, gratefulness, grace. When you are generous with yourself and also grateful to yourself, you are in grace.
Very good. Very good.
Because generosity, the shortest cut to self-love.
Ah,
You don't need to do much.
sure.
All you need to do is say, all right, I'm going to be generous with myself. I give without any limit. Whatever my body's needs are, my mind, my soul, my heart, my life. Embodying generosity is essential. How can you talk about self-love when you are not generous with yourself? Love is generosity anyway.
Yes.
Love is never mean.
Mm.
And by the
Wow.
way, so here we are. There's a generosity, and then there's gratefulness. It's a kind of, let's say, appreciation, but gratefulness. It is the second highest attitude, some call it emotion, that helps us to ascend. Second.
Mm-hmm.
First is being loving. Anytime you are in that state of being loving, you are in ascension. Being grateful, the second, and the last is being humble. These are all ascending. So gratefulness is huge need to truly embody that. Again, it is in the moment of gratefulness, my love. Look at that. Where are you? You are in here and now, immediately. With one act of gratefulness, you are in here and now, and the heart is open and love is flowing towards whatever the gratefulness
Hallelujah.
is. Yeah.
Wow.
And then, of course, then we are in grace. And then starts the last part. First,
Right.
laughter. Second, gentleness. And the third is the divine. When you are in peace, grace, you laugh, and you are a gentle being. This is called divinity. You don't need to be divine. You need to embody the principles of divinity. Then we are divine, of course.
Mm-hmm.
The stories are plenty, by the way.
I've
Plenty.
no doubt. Yes.
Many. I have many stories that many people ask me actually since many years that I write books, but they really intended that I write my storybook of the whole thing. But we ended up first writing the 40 ways to feel at home with yourself.
Mm.
But the stories are, yeah, amazing, truly amazing.
The 40 ways of feeling at home with yourself is a very beautiful compilation of characteristics and traits to focus on. It almost reminds me of the 40 years when Moses was in the desert, that the it's a training ground, 40 years of training ground, 40 ways to be at home with yourself. 40 is quite a magical number, really. And
Yes,
then
it is.
beyond 40 is a whole new other dimension that can be embodied.
Yes, it is. It is basically practiced in many spiritual schools.
Yes.
The things that in 40, with the number 40 we do, including fasting and so on. So,
Yes, the 40 days of fasting, yeah. There's the 40 days of Lent, yes, you're quite right, and Advent and in the Christian world.
oh yes.
But it seems to me that you left your home in Iran and landed in Scarborough and in England in order to find your home.
Of course, very clearly, very clearly.
Mm.
I would perhaps, or I don't know, existence has its own ways to play, but in my case, had to be that way, Pauline. That I lived that home, which then was occupied in 1979, and being able to stay here and discover all this and share all this. I probably, I never make decisions as such. I would never know who I am had I not left that home. So I'm very grateful for all the pains
Yes.
altogether, for all the
Yes.
pains.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
am tremendously grateful. And not that the pains have stopped, by the way, but at least I can distance and I can watch it. It's essential to learn also this art, to watch, to be the watcher. So, but the pain goes on. But
That must mean that there's more pleasure in store.
well, I
A
mean,
little
I'm talking
more
about the pain.
playfulness.
Yes, yes, of course. I mean, I'm talking about the pain goes on. I mean, let's say in this very moment where my country is now and my family living it is under this bombardment and so on. So these are realities of events that are taking place, and they are, you can say, painful to consider. But I try to again watch that it is not taking me to a wrong path.
Yeah.
But the book
Or at
is
least redirecting you back.
highly recommended. Really, I hope the book
Yes.
finds itself to all the homes on this planet, everywhere. And then the translation of it in Spanish has also finished. It will be available also in Spanish, which I find it very. I need to also bring that that I'm living here in Mallorca, Spain, to also give this to my Spanish family. At the end of the day, truly, just to be very clear, it's not a book to read. It's a book that
No.
reads you. It's a book that is charged with the helper. That whenever you need any help, any answers you are looking for, any inspirations you're looking for, you can just open it and get the answer. You know Hafez, of course you do, Pauline.
Yes,
I believe
Hafiz, I
you're
love
a
it.
fan of him. You're a fan of him. Hafez has
I
a
like
book.
Hafiz.
Hafez has a book called Divana Hafez. It's a book traditionally in Persian culture of it's an oracle in actual fact. Like this book is an oracle.
Okay.
People, whenever they are stuck somewhere, they open Hafez and Hafez tells them what is and
Yeah,
what
yeah.
to be done. He is known
Ah,
mainly for this, that he
okay.
has never left. He is with alive in any house that it has this book.
Yeah, yeah.
So Hafez is a tremendous divine being. Another one, every one of
Well,
them,
he's very funny.
every one of them.
Some of his stuff is very funny. His joke
Extremely.
about his joke about being oh, I've lost my camel, I've lost my camel. Oh my God, I've lost my camel. Oh, poor Hafiz, he's lost his camel. Oh my God. I say to him, oh, Hafiz, I'm so sorry for you. You've lost your camel. You've lost your camel.
Well, you
Oh,
see,
but if I
that
were
is,
with my camel, I would be lost too.
you see, the third path began with laughter.
Yes, yes, yes,
All of
yes,
the
yes.
masters, have the most wonderful sense of humor.
Yep.
It's a pleasure to be sitting by their feet because they're simply funny. They have a deep sense of humor that can teach a lot through laughter.
Mm-hmm.
And never mind that
Yeah.
it is the greatest healer anyway. Laughter is the greatest medicine, especially for the body. What hormones are triggered in the body with the laughter and what they do to the body is amazing.
Okay. And
Earlier on, you mentioned about Jeffrey cancer, but also there is a team of people who are helping with cancer is they use laughter to heal cancer.
And there's plenty of places now that are doing those kinds of therapies.
Yes, they do
Anand, I
laughter
want to
yoga and
ask,
things. Pardon?
yes,
Dime?
laughter yoga, laughter therapy, laughter clinics, laughter everywhere.
Yeah,
So, Anand, I want to ask you one last question, if you
please
like.
do.
Is there anything that we haven't asked you that you would like us to have asked so that you can tell the world on your very first podcast something that you want to finish up with?
Yes, it's not that you have forgotten to ask. It's something that you could have, you could have, but I need to add this as a last part because I find that very important for humanity to be clear with. And it's about love. The question perhaps could be, what is love? Maybe. So a long time ago, the message was there are three types of love. First one is a physical love. It's called attraction. You see somebody beautiful, feel attracted, heart starts to beat, there's some movement, and it appears to be love. The second one is, she calls it the political love. Perhaps 99% of the love that happens on this planet. It is not an exaggeration. If you consider 8 billion something, it is not exaggeration, and how I wish I could accept it, isn't it? But the second one is the political love, and there are two types there. One says, I love you because. The love starts like this. They love the other because the other gives something that they don't have or fills a hole that is really empty. It's kind of a needy love. And the second type is, I love you if. Very common. Very common. Full of expectations. On both of them, you love the other for you, not for the other. Which brings us to the third, which is, as we all know it, as unconditional love. Love that you love me for me, not for you. So this is what I like everybody to chew on this and see where they are. Am I habituated to fall in love with attraction? And of course, after a while, there is another one who's more attractive. The pattern goes on, always jumps to another. Or is it, again, I love you because instead of taking responsibility for that because into my own hand, I expect the other one to give it to me. That's why there is no peace between man and woman, Jeffrey, because of this love. This love wasn't there, of course we would have peace with each other. But most of us are trained like this, sadly, conditioned with these loves. Most. And I like people, whoever you are now, watching later, now, listening, to ask yourself that question, where am I? Also, who am I in this love? And I think from that clarity, something shifts for sure. Absolutely sure. Once you admit where you are, things change. So I wonder if you like to ask me any other questions. Or, yes, I'll be very.
I think I will
Pleasure.
yeah, I think I will
To,
just say I love you. How about that?
oh, I
It's good.
love you. Thank you. That is very beautiful. Very
It's
nourishing.
been a
Thank you.
very engaging conversation. Thank you very, very much.
I thank you.
Really.
I hope that it's been to the same for everybody who's been here with
And
us, whether now or whether later maybe or something. But I wish all peace. May there be peace for all our brothers and sisters, wherever they are, and especially those who really right now need. So may this peace walks their path also.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Bijan. Thank you for
thank
joining
you
us.
Thank you, Pauline.
Okay.
I'd like again, Jeffrey, thank you very much, actually, also, because you
And
seem to be the founder of this whole event, and I am very grateful for your being, and I appreciate for what you're doing, and especially for this very moment, what you're doing for us, and for this book especially. And then I don't know how we can put this link of the book. I don't know, Jeffrey, if you can have any suggestions. I send you the link of the book and people can order by Amazon.
excellent. It's already up there.
It's already up
on.
there.
Already done.
Super lovely. And to all the people on this planet, wherever they are, if you like to really work personally with us, it will be our great pleasure. We are great hosts in our retreat center. We take care of you. We make you feel at home. You will feel the moment you enter the gate of the land. It is that energy. It is not us. It is to do with where we are, this beautiful little piece of land that has a wonderful vibes. And if you are interested in waking up really at the end, I'm here. I won't be here very long, perhaps. I don't know. Being 71 now, so I must do, must. I like to do my best and as many as souls that I can help to be who they are and nourish this world.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Bye for now then. Bye-bye, Jeff.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye,
Thank you,
Ananda.
Pauline. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Bye now.